Well, Dignitas is on the upswing here at the end of week 8 of the LCS. I'm joined right now by their coach. Are you head coach and Cop is assistant coach, or how does that work?
No, Cop's head coach, and I'm strategic coach.
Oh, okay. Well, so do you report to him? Is he your boss?
No, it's not really like that.
Okay.
We're just kind of like, I mean, there's no hierarchy or structure or anything. It's
It's
just
a very flat level thing.
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, not, yeah. Politics are just useless.
I just really, for some reason, like the idea of Cop being your boss. Like, that was funny to me.
Why? Because he can give me an order and then go watch anime or something? Is that the Cop way?
Yeah, I think so. He's like, I'm going to be over here. You go deal with this. No, I mean, talk to me a little bit about your return to Dig and how that whole experience has been and sort of what's been going on with the team since then.
My return to Dig?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I was on Team Liquid and they didn't do well.
Yeah.
You know, so I left them kind of like actually I was like talking with them near the end of the split, and they're kind of telling me about some of their roster decisions and the prospects they had, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, this looks scary. So we kind of like mutually parted ways. Yeah. And then I ended up on Dig because I really like the roster. I think all the players are super good, and I like working with Cop, and I worked with Keen for a really long time. And I thought this roster just had like the best potential to do anything. And I looked over a lot of their like playoff odds and their whole last season, and I think it was like pretty easy to identify the mistakes that they were making, and it's like knowledge-based things and like teamwork things. A lot easier to fix problems than like you just have a mid laner that's like inting or something, So I think it's like a lot easier for me to show like what I can do as a coach on this team, and it just kind of worked out. And also, Cop, like, we have like a really good dynamic together. So,
what do you attribute the recent like upswing in the team to?
I mean, I think obviously the bot lane addition was really good. Like, they're pretty consistent about winning bot lane and doing well. But I guess we were doing good at the beginning of the split too. We just kind of had like a downward thing in the middle where I guess things just become like, we were really structured going in the beginning of the split, and then in the middle we kind of like lost our structure. And one of the owners came in and kind of like worked with us, and we kind of built up a good process for how we go into the week. Yeah. And I'm not going to kind of talk about it because I don't want to give out secrets, but just the way that we attack how we're going to deal with each team each week and the way we're going to conduct practice, and just like the things that we're covering is just really accurate, and it's very concise.
Was the owner like on the 76er side, or?
It's one of the people who were on Coast before. It's one of the slans. So yeah. I'm sure everybody like loves them, but yeah.
I mean, only because I think the reason I asked the question is because it is, no one really knows like how much the owners that have been around for a while help out versus newer faces to the scene that have a traditional sports background. So it would have been somewhat it's an interesting question about, when an owner is stepping in to help out, is it the traditional sports guy or is it like the traditional esports guy?
No, it's mainly David and Michael Slan, the two people that worked with Coast and Apex before. Right. I mean, they might not be like the best game people, obviously, because they're more on business side, but I think they know a little bit. They know a lot about like managing people. I mean, that's obviously what they do, and about kind of just having structure. Yeah. So that's like the main things that they bring.
And with Dignitas doing so well, and what is interesting to me, I was talking to another player earlier, I think it was Sneaky, about the fact that it feels like right now there's no clear top team. Like, everybody looks really weak, which is unusual in my mind for the end of a split, because normally you have that, there's so much parity between all these teams. Anybody can take a game off anybody at the beginning of the split. It feels like there's no clear contender for first place right now. How do you think that positions Dignitas, and is there a chance that you guys could become that team?
Well, I mean, there's still a chance that we can actually place first, or even first or second, and get the playoff bye. It's like a lower chance because it requires other teams to lose as well. Yeah. I mean, we beat all the top teams in series, and we also 2-0'd TSM. So I think that there's we've definitely shown that we can make our run. And I think the reason why it's like so up in the air is because the game is really, really, really snowbally, and it's really tough to come back from a lead. Just pretty much like 25 minutes hits and a team gets Baron, and it's like lights out. The game's over. So if you had like a bad draft that you can't get pressure in like the early game, and they just snowball the Baron on you. You just lose. So I think pick ban's really important, and that's why a lot of these games look really flippy floppy. So
I actually was supposed to talk to a coach today that wanted to chat with me about this, but he didn't get a chance to. But he was expressing some frustration about the patch and feeling like 7.15, 7.16, maybe some issues. I'm curious, like, do you get frustrated by the snowballing meta? Is this like a situation where, I mean, maybe it's been a good thing for Dig. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know who the coach is, but I'm just gonna call him out because I feel like that's it's an issue with the coach. Like one of the benefits that Cop and I have, I feel like over any other coach is like I have accounts right below Challenger right now. Like Cop has accounts, Masters and Challenger, and like a new patch hits. Like what I do on my day off and what he does on his day off is we just like play the game together and we just dive in like let's try this, let's try that, like let's play on this, and you get a feel for it. I'll give you like a good example of it. Like all these teams are picking Jin, right? The worst champion in the entire game. So it's so every time I see somebody pick that champion, it's just I want to like vomit. Okay. And it's like all you have to do to understand how bad it is just go into a solo queue game and play it one time, or like play like a real ADC into it, and then or play it into all these tanks, and you're just like, you got to be smoking the real good. I mean, I know weed is legal in California, but you got to be on the good kush to like be wanting to play that. Okay. And that's just like if you have coaches that don't actually play the game, then they won't realize it. And instead it's just like I saw somebody picking this and the win rates are good. Like all they have is like data in front of them instead of like how it really feels in game.
Okay. So you're much more like ignore the statistics. Let me test drive, and I'll tell you what's actually going on.
Yeah, I mean we look at the statistics a lot too, but you can't just blindly trust statistics. You have to like get a feel for it as well.
Okay. What I mean, obviously, Cop, former AD carry, you former jungler. Do you feel like the both of you still have a pretty good understanding of the other roles too whenever changes are made to top lane or mid lane or something?
I mean, yeah, like I don't have to be playing. I can be playing jungle, and I can see how the top matchup's going in like my master game or my challenger game, and it's like, it looks like Impact's winning that matchup in my solo queue game. Yeah. I guess that looks pretty annoying, and then I do like a little bit more research on it, and then I talk to Someday, and then it's just like it's a big conversation. Like everybody's involved in it to decide like what gets picked.
Good stuff. All right. Well, is there anything that you want to say to any of the fans?
I can't believe people are still subscribing to me on Twitch, even though I stream like one time a month. You guys are crazy. But yeah, thanks for supporting us.
When's the next time you're gonna stream?
I don't know, dude. I'm busy. We're busy. Maybe off season.
Too much winning. That's what I'm hearing.
It's a lot. You got to put the time in, and you got to do research. Yeah.
All right, very good. Well, thank you so much for the interview. It's good to chat with you. It's been a bit. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things League of Legends here on my YouTube channel. Hey, everyone. I want to thank you for subscribing to my channel. Wait, you haven't subscribed yet? Oh, that's Hanser. All right. Well, anyway, if you haven't subscribed, you should definitely do that. Otherwise, Hanser will attack you. And also feel free to support me over at travisgafford.com/support.